Hello, dear students. Myself, Dr. Mohan Kumar from Government Science College, Bengaluru. Now, I am going to talk on the topic beekeeping and management practices. So, in that, we'll discuss about selection of bees for apiculture, selection of suitable site, beekeeping and management practices. First one is selection of bees for apiculture. As all of you know, for better apiculture, that is to produce or to get more and more honey, while selecting the bees, the following points have to be considered very carefully. So the points are, we'll see one by one. Honey bee should be of gentle temperament. The honey bee that we are selecting should be very gentle temperament. Then the workers of that colony should be strong. That is with reference to the productivity of honey is concerned. Workers should be efficient workers. The individual should be disease resistant individuals. They should not be very sensitive for the climatic or diseases, etc. They should be able to withstand adverse climatic conditions or weather conditions. Hardy individuals, I can say in general. The worker should be very hardy and efficient. They should have the capability to build strong colony. They should be capable of producing the strong colony. They have to have the ability to protect the colony from the enemies. They have to have the capacity or the ability or the potential to protect themselves, to protect their colony. That is very much important. Then, have energetic and industrious workers. The individuals you are selecting should be the energetic individuals and industrious workers. They have to have the capacity to suck the juice or the nectar from varieties of plants. That means they always need not wait only for one type of flower or one type of plant, etc. They should be able to collect the material or the juice or the nectar from different types of plants. So bees have to form the hive easily at any place. They have to have the broad what is called base, so that they should be able to create or develop hive in various types of places. Able to collect maximum honey in short period. Overall output efficiency should be good. Then comes, as a whole, produce more honey from its comb. That is the ultimate goal of our apiculture. So they should be efficient workers to construct large colony and able to produce more and more honey within a short period. So as far as these qualities are concerned, in India, because of its gentle nature, efficient and prolific workers, Apis indica, Apis indica is the best bee for apicultural activities or for the commercial production of honey. Because of all these qualities, in India, Apis indica is the best apicultural individual. Then once you select the bee, next point is selection of suitable site or the place for these activities. So you have to select a place where there should be sufficient flowering plants for collecting the nectar. So you have to select a place where I mean sufficient number of flowering plants should be there. Hence the nectar is easily available for the insects to collect the maximum or to produce maximum quantity of honey, so that bees need not travel for a longer distance to collect the nectar. So that is a very important point. Hives should be kept in the cool and shady place. So the place of keeping this honey bee hive is very cool and shady place. In addition to that, there should also be a source for fresh water in the nearby area. So they need water also, hence nearby there should be a source for fresh water. Must be protected from rain. So whenever we are having all these things, there should be a protection to avoid the colony from the rain or rain water. So next, the methods of beekeeping. Earlier, we used to just collect the honey from the wild. Just we used to collect the honey from the wild, but gradually demand for honey is increasing, and hence we are not able to meet the demand. I mean, just by collecting it from the wild. Gradually, we started what is called beekeeping or domestication of these bees for the production of more and more honey. So, the aim of this beekeeping is, the goal of this beekeeping is to get more and pure honey. So, basically, two things, one is more, second one is pure honey. So, for that, we started domestication of these bees or beekeeping. So there are two types of this beekeeping. One is called indigenous method, the other one is modern method. So there are two methods of beekeeping. One is indigenous method and the other one is modern method. Indigenous method. This is the common old method used by the earlier agriculturalists or apiculturists. Here either fixed or movable hives were used. As far as these fixed hives are concerned, it is purely natural type of comb, as the bees themselves are going to prepare the hive. We are not providing any specific hive as such. Basically they themselves are going to prepare the hive at any suitable place on like walls or trees, etc. Here actually our involvement is very less. But the movable hives comprises of, you can provide some empty boxes, earthen ponds, etc. so that the swarmed bees, the bees which are coming there usually come to the box on their own. We are not selecting. So you are providing some suitable hideouts or the places, etc. so that if they find it is suitable, they will come and start the activity in that place. Previously, earlier in this indigenous method, the extraction of honey from the honeycomb was really crude, cruel and unplanned type. This is really most dangerous thing as far as honeybees are concerned. The extraction or of honey from the honeycomb is very crude and cruel, unplanned type. So in this case, for the honey extraction, smoking or burning fire is brought near the hive. So we used to use smoke or directly used to bring the fire near the hive, particularly in the night time, that is to kill the bees, or either they have to escape off from that place. So that means, dear students, it is unfortunate that we all love honey, but I think in general, people may hate honeybees. How can we expect the honey without honeybees? Really, you have to underline these points. Okay? So, usage of the smoke or burning or killing these bees for the honey is really, and it's very bad. So, the drawbacks of these indigenous methods are honey becomes impure. Whatever the honey we are getting from this crude method, old method is the honey is impure. It is because we are going to squeeze the hive, squeezing the hive cells as such, and in addition to that, we are also squeezing the larva along with that. We are squeezing the hive as such along with the larva. Hence, the honey that we are sorry getting is not pure honey because you are squeezing the larva also which are present inside the hive. It is because of this the colony becomes weak due to the killing of eggs and larvae. So we are squeezing the eggs which are present in the hive as well as the larva. Hence, we are killing so many individuals. Hence, the colony becomes very weak. The formation of new hive requires extra energy. So next, once it is spoiled, they have to spend so much of time and so much of energy, etc., towards the construction of their hive house or hive or the colony. They need the house, they need that wax for, for the construction of the house. They will spend time and energy only for that sake. Hence, which is going to reduce the yield. They are spending so much of time for the construction of the hive as such. So the yield will come down. Activities of the bees cannot be controlled here. It is not a controlled system. We are not able to control the activity of these honey bees in this old, crude, cruel method. Once you do all these activities, once you disturb them, hivation or construction of the hive in the same place is a matter of chance. You cannot expect the same individuals to stay in the same place. Then hive robbers like rat, ant, wasps, monkey definitely can affect the colony easily. So here it is not possible to select the species that you want. Those who are coming, they are only coming and settling there. We are not selecting any, best species or otherwise. Hazardous conditions like climatic conditions cannot be controlled here. Okay, so these are all the drawbacks of indigenous methods of beekeeping. So, in order to overcome all these drawbacks, whatever the drawbacks we have listed out, in order to overcome all these, we have what is called modern method of apiculture. So, modern method here, an advanced modern method having artificial hive has been developed. For this sake, in the modern method, an artificial hive has been developed based on the scientific facts. So, an artificial hive was developed based on the scientific facts by Longstreth. That is in 1951. He has developed an artificial hive for this purpose to overcome all the drawbacks of indigenous methods. This method is easy, practically and scientific method and can be used commercially also. It is a very effective method. This, creation of this artificial hive has really opened a new era for this apicultural cottage industry. It gave an opportunity for lakhs of persons to keep busy in this activity or in this business. So it can do it. Farmers or the youngsters can do all these activities or the apicultural activities along with other work. You need not spend most of the time for only this. One thing is time required is not too much and the space required is also very less. Hence, You can attend to all these activities, apicultural activities, in addition to your routine or other activities or agricultural activities or so. So artificial hive is constructed keeping in mind the needs of bees. So we have to meet that their requirement. Hence, it was constructed keeping in mind the needs of the insects or the honeybees. So gradually he started this principle or the concept, etc. But gradually over a period of time, based on the experience, this hive is modified based on the experience as well as our requirement. So basically the concept was developed by Longstrauth, that is artificial hive for modern method of apiculture. So appliances used in this modern method, it includes typical movable hive, queen excluder, honey extractor, uncapping knife, and other accessory equipments. We'll discuss one by one. So this hive, the modern hive what we are creating is typically a movable hive. So that means we can shift it from one place to other place, hence it is movable. Artificial movable hive is constructed based on bee space theory. It is constructed based on their requirement, that is bee space theory we call it as. Basically it is made up of a wooden box, you can see here. May not be this no, so big. So it is made up of wooden box. The size and number of frames are variable. The size, it will vary. It may not be so big as I told you. Okay, the size as well as the number of frames inside this box. We are going to keep so many frames. It may vary. It depends. There is a small entrance and exit for the workers. So here you will find an entry and exit for the workers and drones, but that opening is not for the queen. Queen is bigger in size. So once queen is placed in the hive, it will never comes out. It will not be able to come out because it is something like a filter as a barrier. Only the small size or the drones and queens which are smaller when compared to the queen will be able to come in and go out. But once the queen enters or once a queen is placed inside, it will not, it is trapped completely. It will not be able to come out. The typical hive basically consists of 6 different parts. First one is stand. Stand is the basic or the basal part of the hive on which the whole hive is constructed and it supports the hive. Stand is a small structure to keep these structures. It is adjusted to make slope so rainwater comes down quickly. So a slight slope you need to maintain so that if there is any rainwater, it should come out quickly. So that is the concept. So it is a stand to keep the next parts. Above the stand comes what is called bottom board. This is the actually bottom as such, proper base of the hive as such, which is present above the stand, with 2 gates or openings in the front, that is for entry and exit of the hive of this colony. So stand is there. Above that we will keep one bottom board provided with 2 openings. They are meant for entry and exit of only the females and the males, not for the queen. Next, brood chamber, the large box as such, square type large box is called brood chamber. This is the very important part of the hive, having large wooden box with 5 to 10 frames. These are the frames. This is the wooden box. It's called brood chamber. Inside we can keep 5 to 10 wooden frames like this. This is one after the other. We can keep 5 to 10 frames. Each of these frames have removable wax sheets bearing hexagonal frames held by a couple of wires. So this is what is called wax sheet. So if you observe properly, in this wax sheet, on either side, you can see hexagonal shaped structures. Okay, so you can see the hexagonal frames here. This is the frame. This is, we are going to keep it in a brood chamber. You can keep about 5 to 10 in a box. I mean, there should be a space between the frames, so that the insect should be able to move in and out. So this is fixed with wax sheet. The wax sheet is provided with hexagonal frames. It contains large number of hexagonal frames on both the sides. So along the margins of every hexagonal mark here, it contains, the hexagonal marks, the bees start making the cells. They make use of these shapes as the base to construct the cells of the hive. It provides the base for comb preparation in both the sides. So this acts as a base. On that base, they start constructing the cells on both the sides. This sheet actually is going to attract the bees. It's also called comb foundation. It gives the foundation for the cells on either side. Hence, it's called comb foundation. The frames are kept vertically, so you can keep them vertically inside the brood chamber, covered over by other frames. You can arrange 5 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and above that again you can arrange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. It depends on the size of the brood chamber as well as size of the frames, etc. So one after the other you can arrange, and once you fill one layer, above that again you can arrange some other frames. Then above that, that is one brood chamber I was talking. Then comes super. So above the brood chamber, that box, you may have probably placed 5 frames. Above that 5 more, 10. It is over for a box. Above that we can have one more box as such. That is called super. That means above the brood chamber is a super which provides an additional area for bees to extend their hive. If that space is filled, it's over. If the population increases, they can. So it is something like your duplex house. It is something like your duplex house. Once the family members are more, some of you go and make use of the place. In the next floor. That's what is called super. So inner cover, a wooden piece for covering the super. Above that, the top should be covered with a sheet or a wooden material, which is provided with large number of holes for ventilation. So it is covered with a wooden piece. It is porous in nature. That is very important for circulation of the air. That is inner cover. Finally, in the end, it is covered with what is called top cover, the wooden cover having slope like this, okay, for shade and to avoid the rainwater. We need to provide the shade. So this top cover, it is having slope, hence we can protect it from sunlight, heat as well as from the rainwater. So it is not going to close the that porous inner cover as such. There will be a space for ventilation. So these are the different parts of modern methods of beekeeping. Next comes the queen excluder. It's a wire gauze mesh size. Wire gauze mesh size is large enough to permit the workers and drones to pass through this, but not the queen. So here you can see it is a mesh-like structure, or you can call it a sieve, something like that. The pores are planned in such a way that only workers and the drones will be able to move in and out. But because the queen is bigger in size, it is completely trapped inside. It will not be able to come out of that box. That's called queen excluder. Excluding queen, others can move in and out. So the queen, once placed inside the box, will not be able to come out. So that is very interesting feature of this method. So next, honey extractor is used to extract the honey from the comb. So that was the basic drawback as far as the previous method is concerned. But here it functions on the centrifugal force. It is the advantage of this method. When the combs are centrifuged, this device separates pure honey without damaging the comb. It is not going to affect the eggs. It is not going to affect the larva. We are not squeezing. We are not damaging the hive as such. See, these are the actually sheets we are keeping, rectangular, honeybee sheets we are keeping. So once you start rotating, so only the honey will come down and we are going to retain these sheets without any damage. So, so before you keep these, things for extraction of the honey, when all the combs are filled and it is ready for extraction, they are sealed with capping with sacs. See, once they fill it with the honey, these insects are going to cover it with the wax. So here you can see, so it is completely filled with wax, honey, and afterwards they are going to cover it with the wax. So before keeping it inside the honey extractor, we need to remove that wax layer. Okay, so we need to remove or we need to uncap that with the help of hot knife. Okay, by using, just you keep the hot, touch that hot knife here, obviously it will dissolve. It's a wax, and it is open, and the honey will start coming out. So before the extraction, we need to remove that covering, the sealed cover, or we need to uncap using the hot knife. That is to melt the wax, just only the top layer. So so these are the requirements of this modern method of beekeeping. In addition to that, we may also need so many other requirements. Most of these requirements are locally manufactured. These locally made materials will vary from place to place based on their requirements. Some materials like protective garments, because sometimes they may sting, they may bite. Okay, so to avoid that, proper clothing of garments, gum cages, gloves, bee net, brush, etc. are required for easy and well planned handling of these insects or honey bees. So now, what are the advantages of all these? This modern method. There are several advantages which encourage the well planned beekeeping. Like, we can have proper watch on the activities of, because it is completely a captive condition. We can completely monitor all the activities of this bee colony. A strong colony can be developed by providing, you can provide the requirements like sugar, syrup, pollen substances to the insects. Swarming of bee is checked. They cannot easily run away. We cannot just escape from this place because they are trapped. Because the queen is trapped, others normally they will not move from that place. So the swarming of this bee is easily checked or regulated. As the same hive is used again and again, as I told you, we are not squeezing that comb. So just we'll melt that layer, we'll collect the honey, and again we can keep it back for the next process. So we are using it again and again. Workers can concentrate only on the honey collection, not on the construction work. Okay, so they can concentrate on honey and not on hive formation. They need not spend their time, energy, etc. for the construction of the hive as such, because hive is ready, it is there already. Just they can continue with the collection of honey. Hive can be transferred to other places during adverse environmental conditions for protection. If there is any problem in that place, easily it is a movable hive, you can shift it to some other place. So particularly in the night, if you shift it, all the individuals will be there inside, you can shift it to some other place. Hive can be protected from enemies. Obviously, it is a completely closed system, other individuals, other enemies cannot easily attack these individuals. So finally, in the end, what we wanted is pure honey. Quantity of honey is more, pure and hygienic honey, because we are not squeezing the larva, we are not squeezing the eggs. That's why whatever the honey we are extracting using that centrifugal force is pure honey only. Okay, so this is the main advantage. So we need to take some precautionary measures. So for proper management, following precautionary measures are important. Hive should not be far away from the place from where the bee have to collect the nectar and pollen. Forest should be there, trees should be there, flowers should be there. It should not be isolated from all these things. So if sufficient source are there, then it is easy for collecting the honey. Proper contact for marketing purpose. Once you produce all these things, so you need to think of the marketing. Proper contact is very important for this. Keep the hive in cool and shady place. Very important. The basic need for the insects. So proper road and transportation facility. If you are planning in the large scale, the selection of site I told you is very important. You have to think about the availability of this road and transportation facilities. Water facility, freshwater water facility near the hive is also one of the important points that you need to consider. Good flora for collection of pollen and nectar is one more aspect. So finally, to conclude, for better apicultural purpose, we have to select the suitable honey bees. That is very important. Select the suitable site or the place for this. Then beekeeping is basically of two types, indigenous and modern method. Indigenous method is very crude, cruel and unplanned type, and the honey what we are getting is very impure. That's why in order to overcome all these things, we started using the modern method to overcome the drawbacks of indigenous method. So it is very easy, scientific method, commercial method with several advantages. And finally, the honey that we are getting out from this modern method is very pure and hygienic. So that is the advantage of modern method of beekeeping. Thank you.